Hello, loyal followers. Thank you for your patronage. We had a new moon in Libra on Monday morning early here in Australia. So adjust your time accordingly if you are in another part of the world. We've just also experienced the equinox on the 22nd of September 2022. All those twos. Seasonal adjustments are required to balance our lives. Libra is represented by the scale of justice. Are we living in a world of harmony and balance? I take a brief look at the occult art of law. Since I last communicated with you, Queen Elizabeth has passed over. This event has huge ramifications for our Earth energy. Katherine McBean has been responsible for creating health hubs in the UK, which are now replicating in other parts of the world. She introduces more ideas about balancing the energy of the planet with food farming alliances. And remember, it's not what happens to us, it's how we respond that matters and allows us to grow and evolve as humans. So I encourage you to rebalance your life in Libra energy. Let's look first at the new moon in Libra on Monday. It was around 2 degrees 48 minutes, about 10 to 8 in the morning. Just days after the equinox, the midpoint between winter and summer. Astrologically, Saturn is still square at Uranus, creating tension in the heavens and on our planet. Saturn is rules and regulations, and Pluto is the transformer of the big organizations who would impose that power and control. Jupiter is midpoint Saturn and Uranus, inviting us to choose between the old Saturn and the new Uranus. I believe it's time to leave the old behind and embrace the new, where we will find new and amazing opportunities to move forward and evolve. You choose. Planetoid Eris, which is out in the Kuiper Belt, is still square Pluto, and she represents the people in conflict with those who would control power. In short, our world is still in tension. So what does this new moon really bring? Libra is about relationships, typically your most intimate partnership, but can also include business partnerships and your relationship with the public. So this is a time to pay attention to all those relationships. How can you contribute to improving your role? What adjustments need to be made in your behavior? Remember, you cannot change anyone else. You can only change yourself. And so when you do that, people adjust their responses accordingly. Try it. Libra loves peace and harmony. Libra is ruled by Venus and enjoys the finer things of life: sociability, diplomacy, fine dining, beautiful surroundings, fine art and jewelry, harmonious music, happy relationships. So which of these aspects would you like to emphasize with this month? Where in your chart does Libra occur? It is in this sector that your efforts will be most rewarded. Libra is represented by the scales of justice. Are we living in a world of harmony and balance? How can we rebalance that? Go within. Be kind to yourself. Nourish your body and fill your cup of needs. And then you are resourced to support others in your community. Let me briefly mention the equinox, which was on the 22nd of September 2022. I believe all those twos indicate that balance needs to be restored. But check out Tanya Gabriel, an astronumerologist, for her views, and I'll put the reference in the notes. I love this equinox time of the year, as the morning sun lights up my house via my front door for a few days until the sun moves further south. Days are starting earlier. The birds are awake earlier, and they're telling me it is time to adjust the daily clock to get up just 30 minutes earlier and enjoy the daylight hours. If you are in the northern hemisphere, your days are getting shorter and your nights longer. It's time to adjust your daily clock so you stay in bed just another 30 minutes and enjoy the rest that winter brings. As time progresses to the solstice, maybe you want to adjust that time in bed again, enjoying the hibernation opportunity that nature provides you. And conversely, if you're in the southern hemisphere, maybe you want to get up a few minutes earlier again and really enjoy the early part of the day and the late part of the day. To me, those are the best parts of the day. Astrologically, Mercury and the Sun are conjunct, suggesting great energy for new ideas. But remember, Mercury is the trickster planet of trade, markets, of communications and travel. And last Friday, both the New York Stock Exchange and the Australian Stock Exchange have closed down on the Friday the 23rd. Will they go lower? I suspect so. Disruptions can be expected with Mercury around like this. But remember, it's not what happens so much as how we respond. Stay calm, breathe, wait, watch, and then respond. I want to speak briefly about September 24th, which is past now. But from a number of different sources, September 24th has been a date suggested as significant. I don't know what about. Will there be an unexpected announcement? Will there be disclosure of information that has been withheld? Will the poles shift? Will we have a solar flare that has been talked about by so many for so long? Or is it yet another false flag designed to make us frightened and therefore do what we're told? I wait and watch. I do know that it is Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year celebration, and this September 24th occurs on the world axis in around about 2 degrees of Libra, symbolizing the shift to a new season and all that it encompasses. So are we needing to shift our whole ideas, our whole raft of ideas? Let's just wait and watch and see. I mentioned in the introduction the Occult Art of Law. I don't know about you, but to date, my experience of the law has been a game where I only win occasionally. Is the law just and fair? Maybe sometimes, maybe not. Who wins when you engage a lawyer? The lawyer usually does quite well financially. Now, while this notion has been in my energy field for a while now, the time has come for me to share more about the fraud and deception under which we have all been living. Really? Just as Pluto energy is digging out the dirt, it brings to light the deception that has been perpetrated on us humans for centuries. We are willing slaves, really, to a system that we have been led to believe is normal and okay. Call me a conspiracy theorist if you like, but I'm finding more and more of this information surfacing in many different areas of my life. And while it is a few years old, this lecture on the Occult Art of Law on YouTube will prompt you to rethink your very existence. Are you a man, a woman, or a person? In the law, a person has contracts with all sorts of entities. A man or a woman is a free and sovereign being. How does this impact how we behave? How does this impact our lives when we can show that the law, as we know, is a kind of movie and we're playing parts in it? Check the reference, the link in the notes. What do you believe? Do you believe this is the world we're living in? Capitalism is religion. Banks are churches. Bankers are priests. Wealth is heaven. Poverty is hell. Rich people are saints. Poor people are sinners. Commodities are blessings. Money is God. Now, I don't believe a word of that. However, if you're interested in more information like this, please contact me and I can give you some other references to check out for yourself. Queen Elizabeth. In the past few weeks, the most important event for many of us has been the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. Whether or not you believe in the monarchy, she has been a strong leader, often in very difficult times. Exploiting the energy of her chart, she has fulfilled her destiny with dignity, grace, and often humour. With her passing, there is a huge energy shift worldwide. Have you felt it? My understanding is that she was one of the many directing the future of our world to date. Some people have called that group of people the elites or the white hats. But now this is changing. I don't know what is next, but I do believe that with her passing, there will be other leaders who pass over in the next few months. And our world is shifting very rapidly to become very different to what we've known it to be. In previous newsletters or broadcasts, I've mentioned a lady called Katherine McBean, who has been responsible for creating health hubs that have been launched recently in the UK. Now, she's now focusing her attention on creating similar style farming alliances to ensure people have access to food other than via the supermarkets. My source again is Pam Gregory, who seems to be walking the talk of the astrology as Uranus in Taurus challenges the conventional farming practices, at least in the UK. Now, I believe, I suspect that here in Australia, we have a good network of farmers markets, which perhaps is partly addressing some of the issues that Katherine may be addressing in the UK. But it's an interesting thought. And can we do things within our own communities to make ourselves less dependent on the big supermarkets and support farmers or even our own little plots of vegetables? So how do we manage in this changing world? It's a bit scary, isn't it? Nothing ever stays the same. Bad times never last. Think about where we were 2 years ago and how people were in fear and trembling. But neither do the good times last. And we have been experiencing more changes than ever in the last few years. And that seems to have accelerated recently. Staying stuck in our old ways doesn't help us. Even those who are the most stubborn and resistant to change. So those of us who go with the flow fare better. But discernment needs to be exercised. So we maintain our strong personal boundaries and we don't disappear down many rabbit holes. And there's lots of those, aren't there? So what do we do? Know yourself. Spend time by yourself, honoring all your traits, good and not so good. Be open to new ideas and be prepared to shift your attitudes, your opinions, or your habits. If you stand still, you will be left behind. And remember, it's not what happens that is most important. It's how you deal with it that counts. Libra is about balance, and it is time to rebalance our energy. I do recommend regular meditation or simply being by yourself in silence. This may be part of long walks or swims, kayaks or bike rides or something similar. But I encourage you to go in silence. Leave the music machine behind and just be in the silence so that your soul can hear your internal voice. Or that you can hear your soul's voice. Regular time by yourself fulfills both, when you're walking, biking, etc., fulfills both the exercise and the meditation aspects. Allow yourself to imagine the world as you would like to experience it. And remember that our thoughts have energy and we can create what we really want by thinking correctly. In these uncertain times, I encourage you to ensure that your pantry is full enough to feed the members of your household for at least a month, should there be disruptions to food supply. And this could happen through transport, through crops failure, through weather conditions. Just be prepared. And the new moon is a great time to plant seeds for veggies to grow in your garden. I'm so delighted with my veggie garden. It's just loved the rain, and it's really been embracing that and the warm weather, and it's just growing all over the place. Enjoy balancing your energy in Libra, and I'll talk to you next month. Bye for now.